our, oh no, wait a second. Yeah, yes. So our pre-break period, we talk about the consumer surplus, and now we can illustrate, we can show the consumer surplus illustratively. And you can see that this is the marginal utility curve, which shows that the curve is going down, declining, and marginal utility curve shows the price, the maximum price which you are willing to pay. Like in this example, the maximum price which you can pay, which you potentially can pay, is this one. Of course, at this price, demand will be zero. But this is the maximum price which can be charged from you as a consumer. And that price is here. This price can't be here. Look at the cursor. This price will never be here. Because if you go above this point, fractionally, this MU curve ceases to exist. There's no MU curve there. So therefore, your MU curve, the price, the maximum price which you are prepared to pay in this example is this one, where this line, this thick line touches the y-axis. But then, we also know that as the price drops, we consume more because it's an incentive. When the price declines, your purchasing power increases. And with that, you can consume more. But what is the reality? The price which you are prepared, or the maximum the seller can take from you, is this much, but the price which you actually pay is OP1 here. And at OP1 price, you are able to buy this much. So if I have a geometrical picture, the total amount of value, which means price multiply by the quantity, which you are willing to spend, is here, here, and down the line here, this much. So this kind of line, this kind of, how to say it, or MU say, and quantity here, and the MU curve is this much. And let's say the amount to consume is OQ, let's say. At this price, you are actually buying OQ amount at OP price per unit. But the price which you are willing to, not willing to pay, but you are prepared to pay, or willing to pay, before you knew the actual price. It means that this whole picture shows the resources which you are prepared to give away. But actually, when you see the price in the market, in reality, the price is this, not this. But you are buying OQ at OP unit. So the price which the resources which you actually give up are in this rectangle. So my argument is that to buy the OQ amount, you were even prepared to pay OQ, let's say ER or EP1. So this whole geometrical picture, OQ EP1, is what you are willing to give away to acquire OQ amount of goods or service, whatever. But actually what you pay is this much. Hence, the resources which you give up are OQEP. What you are prepared to give away way, sacrifice is more than what you actually give. Hence, this difference, which means P, E, P1, this triangle is your consumer surplus. Therefore, this the upper triangle is reflective of consumer surplus, because if you look at the bottom triangle, bottom rectangle plus the top triangle, if you make a summation of these two figures, that shows how much resources you are prepared to pay, or the maximum you can pay. But in reality, you are paying OP price per unit, and you are buying OQ1 units, right? This determines your expenditure. How do you find your expenditure? A milk carton is costing 80 cents, and you buy 6 of them. How do you find expenditure? The price per unit multiplied by the quantity. So price 80 cents times 6 cartons, 4.80 euros. But the price which you were willing to pay was something, let's say €1.10. And then your total expenditure would have been this. So this extra, the top edge, the surplus triangle, is showing your consumer surplus. So I can show you even more clearly here. So this is the total consumer expenditure which you are giving away. And hence the upper part is a bonus on you, which you get. So you have a positive consumer surplus. Okay. Consumer surplus. This is figurative explanation of, but of course the most important thing is that you get the idea of consumer surplus. That in our daily life, many times it happens that we have a psychological introspective price which we want to pay, depending upon the pressure of the situation, depending upon the intensity of the demand, depending upon whatever reason. There are a host of reasons. I gave you so many examples that daytime price of a cab, evening time price, summertime, December time when the snow is, endless, okay? Depends on you have a meeting, you have urgency, or you are easygoing, okay? So in all these situations, our price, the maximum price which we are prepared to pay varies. Okay, therefore, it comes time and again in cycles. I started my lecture today by saying that utility is not a static concept, it's a dynamic concept. It varies from person to person, time to time, situation to situation, and so on and so forth. Okay? This is consumer surplus. And in this case, you can see that when the price was lower, the consumer surplus was here. But as the price goes up, the consumer surplus goes down. So as the price will go up and up and up, in reality, the actual price, as it goes up, there would be dent in my consumer surplus. Somebody is stealing away my consumer surplus. And if it happens that the price I'm prepared to pay is exactly equal to price I'm paying, no consumer surplus left. And if it goes beyond that, then I'm unable to consume the product because the consumer surplus is negative. Or if I consume, I feel some kind of pinch. You were prepared to pay 60 euro for the taxi and you end up paying 70. Your consumer surplus is minus 10. You are very angry on that day, believe me. Yeah? So this doesn't give you the maximum satisfaction. This is all about consumer surplus. Once again, it's a very behavioral, introspective, and very situational, situation to situation. It varies. It's a very dynamic thing. And it's a micro. Remember, we are studying microeconomics. I'm not making any generalization for the whole society, only for one person. And then we have a new topic, which is probably one of the key theories of economics, the law of demand. Law of demand. Look at our journey. We started thinking about wish, want, desire, demand. Then we talk about the utility, which shows the relevance, importance of something. And now we are in a position that we can make a law. We can make a law, which is a very foundation of microeconomics. The law of demand tells you all else being equal, there is an inverse relationship between price and demand. I repeat, all else being equal, there is an inverse relationship between price and demand. Full stop. The next sentence. This implies that higher the price, lower would be the demand level, and lower the price, higher would be the demand level. Now, I want to ask you a few things. I started my sentence, all else being equal. Did I say this thing? All else being equal. What is this all else being equal? Normal situation. What do you mean by normal situation? Mm-hmm. 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 Now, this case study is about the, now I want to slightly take you out of theories. We have done many concepts today. I can see from your expressions that you are neck deep in concepts. That is why I want to complete the concepts at the soonest so that we go in the different world. But as a consolation, for the remaining time, we shall discuss about the UK inflation. But before I go to the inflation discussion, can somebody tell me, give me the definition of the inflation? What do you call inflation? What is meant by inflation? I can have 2 hands raised. Could you please, 3, 4, well, they're getting 5, getting more. How about, would you like to? Okay, you did, all right. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay, all right. Yes, do you like to add? Mm-hmm. Anybody else wants to? Would you? Mm-hmm. Good. We have, it's very important before I can carry on this discussion. I can't resist myself. There's a very important definition statement given by Professor Irving Fisher. He gave a statement that inflation is about, look at my expressions, gestures, too much money chasing too few goods. Inflation is all about excess of money supply over what is required. So when the money supply is excessive and the amount of goods and services available in the country is less comparatively or constant, that comes inflation. Mm-hmm. He even said that a very foolish finance minister would come and say, hey, what is the problem with my people? Well, they have less income. Okay, double the salary. What will happen? Double the salary, the price would become double, and the value of money would be half. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. So you're right that this is too much money supply is a phenomenon. But I want something, some more ideas. You're right, but I want some more points to pop up. Inflation. Anybody in this quadrant here? Anyone? Inflation. What do you think is inflation? You can think by the time. Anybody here? Inflation? Yeah, gentlemen. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. The country has too much of debt and you want to repay it, and then you start printing more money. So that means too much money chasing too few goods. Yes. Mm-hmm. 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 That's inflation. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Good. This lady, you also raised hand, I guess. Did you? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So your buying power declines here. So even though your nominal income, look at the word even though your nominal income is same, your real income goes down. Now imagine all of you have the average 2,000 euros a month, yeah? But the price doubles. Everything you buy doubles. What happens? Your buying power is half now. So your 2,000 euros are worth 1,000 of euros. So basically, the idea is that even though in your wallet you still have 2,000 nominal money, the nominal money is still 2,000. But the real income is also called purchasing power. Is 1,000. So that's why, remember we discussed last week money illusion. Do you remember? Somebody remembers? Money illusion. Some people have illusion. Myopia. You know myopia? Some kind of short-sightedness. What is that? Mm-hmm. Very good. Often, the workers have this money illusion. They are pressing for more wages, and they go for the strike, and then the wage demand is conceded. They're very happy, but they're very euphoric. Ah, our wage, look, we made a protest and we won it. But hey, hang on, look at the price. The increase in the price you pay for your grocery is more than the wage increase. So if your wage increased by 3%, but the inflation is 5%, you are worse than before by 2%. You're worse off, even though the nominal income has gone up. Okay? Since you have been very well behaved today, you are always very well behaved. I'm a bit